Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to a very different kind of video that I'm excited to commentate. You see, we have somebody in the community who calls himself the Mad Titan. It is literally his summoner name, the Mad Titan. And he was blessed enough, I suppose, to get a 5-star, mostly trophy champ of Thanos. And so even though we know in the community that Thanos is mostly average at best, he wanted to take him up to 565 because if he calls himself the Mad Titan, he has to max out Thanos, even though he knows it is not the best thing to do for his roster. He tested him with multiple synergies, and the best synergy team he found was OG Hulk, Spider-Gwen, Ronin, and Black Bolt to extend the Fury duration and increase his crits. Thanos hits like a quote-unquote wet noodle, but when he starts to get Fury, he can do some decent damage. So the question we want to raise, and what will probably be the title of this video, how powerful is a 565 Thanos? Well, he decided to send over some videos, including the first one, which is just a couple fights in this month of March's uncollected events. So this is just the first couple fights. And you can see when he gets the Fury, he does definitely do some decent damage. But, you compare this to, of course, the best champions in the class, particularly champions like Corvus, even Venom the Duck. And, it's not bad. But it's Thanos, right? Like, if the average person who knew nothing about this game found out that you had a maxed out Thanos, they would think you won the video game. And on paper, you probably should. But it's just not the case in this game. And I don't know why he's not at least one of the top champions in his class, because that would make things like the gifting event, where instead of going for a quote-unquote trophy champ, you could go for somebody who could maybe actually change the course of your roster and help you beat content. That just makes so much monetary sense for Kabam. But who knows? Thanos was originally released before the game evolved to the point it is now, and he is limited and really deserves more of a look. 14,670 seems to be where that special 2 is capping. So, again, I'm not saying he's like the worst champ in the game. I would still take him for sure as an attacker over people like Groot. But at the same time, he is somebody who just is very limited, especially if you don't get the Fury. So now we are going to look at the uncollected fight, boss fight, the final boss fight of Mole Man, who I still am convinced looks like one of those bosses from Turtles in Time, a very popular Super Nintendo game and Pizza Hut game even in the 1990s. So, yeah, not starting off the fight great. I think Mole Man has the slowest Special 1 animation I have ever seen. It kind of reminds me of Cold Obsidian, but in some ways, like I always forget after the second animation that he's just kind of in slow motion waiting to finish the attack. Like, I think it's done there, and then I realize, oh, he's still flying at me. But it's so slow that multiple times I've been able to dash back, even though technically I shouldn't have, just because of how exaggerated that animation is. It's very strange. So yeah, he's just doing the normal, bait the special 1, get in some attacks, which you can see he's not critting that much. Here's the special 2. That time it did 15,000, so slightly more damage than we saw in the first 2 uncollected monthly quest fights. But still nothing that you're going to say, oh man, I've got to max out Thanos. And the thing about this fight is he is maxed, right? Like, this is in a rank 3, and that's, I would anticipate what some of the comments are going to say. Look, I can do more damage with such and such, who's at rank 4 or rank 5 as a 4-star. And it's true. And I will say, as always, even when Kabam doesn't do the best job of making their champions have value in attack, they still look really cool. And Thanos' animations are awesome. I will miss fighting Thanos in Alliance Quest, especially because since I don't do Alliance War, I don't have a ton of practice fighting Doctor Doom, but I'm sure I will get a crash course quite soon because, well, I will be forced to. So, he is doing a good job of winning the fight. It also shows you how this month's uncollected fights, particularly this one, was very fair, especially for the average summoner. He also sent over this screenshot: 39,000 health, 2,500 attack. He does not have suicides on. He also max sigged him. And so the max sig does give him a 40% reducing opponent's base attack. Again, if it's max sig at sig 200, shouldn't it at least be 50%? Is that me being too greedy? I mean, I don't know. But it's just this champion, I don't think he'll be buffed anytime soon because so few people actually have him. But imagine if he was even like the aforementioned Venom the Duck. Imagine how many people would be excited to open him. It's cool to say you have a Thanos, but to actually do anything with him, not so much. Well, there you have it, YouTube. Thank you so much to the Mad Titan for sending these videos over, including the screenshot, and talking about how strong and powerful he is. I would still put him near the bottom of the class, not even probably in the middle, when you consider this is a max sig, rank 5, level 65, 5-star, and you're still lucky to do 15,000 damage on a crit special 2 with the Fury buff. It's just very unfortunate, very disappointing. The pattern of this game seems to be, if you're OP in the comics, you're going to be a wet noodle in the game, and if people forget you're even in the Marvel Universe, you could be one of the most powerful champions of all time. Can't explain it, but it just seems to be kind of the pattern we have seen with the developers and designers at Kabam. I'm thankful when it works out in my favor, but at the same time, Thanos objectively should be really, really good, even if I'm never lucky enough to even have him as a 4-star. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a great day.